So UFC 315 was tonight, and we got a lot to talk about. I do not think Canada will have another UFC event for quite some time. I'm gonna talk about the ticket sales at the end, but I'm just gonna go through the fights really quickly, and spend time on the fights that actually need to be talked about. Destra Almacom knocked out Katana round one. Landed a really good uppercut off of Katana's takedown. Very quick finish. Really good win for him. Rebounding off of a loss to Umar Nurmagomedov. Destra Almacom has a lot of talent. He's a really good grappler. He showcased he has really good hands tonight. I think he will be a nightmare for a lot of people in the bantamweight division. We move on to Daniel Santos winning by unanimous decision. Round one was really fun. We dropped Santos with a hook. Santos then returned the favor late in round one by dropping. Um, uh, Santos returned the favor by dropping late in the first with the combinations. Then Santos got a takedown, tried getting a choke, but it was too late in the round. Then Santos was outlandingly getting takedowns. In round two, he was working really good. And then in round three, Santos continued um, to outshine Lee, was outlanding him, landed a lot of clean combinations too, and he got a takedown later in the round. Was able to work with it a bit, but a really good win by Daniel Santos. We move on to Marc-Andre Barriou, winning by first round TKO and sending Silva to the hospital. Um, Pretty much Marc-Andre Barriou clinched up with Silva. Oh, against the fence, landed some brutal elbows in the clinch, and apparently Silva was rushed to the hospital with a dented skull right after the fight. I hope he's doing good. They gave a couple updates during their card, but we will have to see what will come out later. But a really good win for Marc-Andre Berry, even without the injury that Bruno Silva had. This was Bruno Silva's last fight in the UFC. We know that he had a really good fight with Pereira, but after that Pereira fight, it all hit the fan, and I believe he's lost majority of the fights he's had since. Marc Andre Berry was on a 3 fight skid. He needed this win. Does Marc Andre Berry really make a push in the middleweight division? Maybe, but I don't see it. But a really good win for him. I hope Silva is okay and he recovers well. We move on to Navarro Sterling, winning by unanimous decision against Ivo Erzwan. Um, or oh no, yeah, whatever. Sterling's eye got cut early. Um, I believe by a jab. Sterling then invested in the leg kicks in round one, and they were pretty effective. But Erzwin was landing a lot of the combinations, a lot of jabs. Round two started off against the cage until Sterling got down Erzwin at the 4 minute mark, and Sterling started to get comfortable in the second. Was able to do a little bit off the ground, got back up. Erzwin's left arm was bright red, and Sterling even dropped him with a well. Late in the third, Sterling dropped him with a 1-2, and then dropped him multiple times, and the ref did nothing. Went to decision, he won it, but he should have had a finish here. Um, like he was throwing his one across the cage. A really good win for Sterling, but I think that he will struggle against the grappler. Here's a goal to get a takedown. I need to see him go up against a legitimate grappling threat to see where he truly stands in the um I believe he's middleweight. Yeah, middleweight division. Pretty sure. What a good win from him nonetheless. Stays undefeated. I'm just not that big as others are on him yet. Then we move on to Modestus Bukakis. Um, with a robbery decision over Ian Kutuaba. I did pick Bukakis to win this fight, and I picked it because Ian Kutuaba loses every fight he should. This is not what I meant when I said that, though. Ian Kutuaba looked really good in round one, and I had him clearly winning. He was landing a lot of heavy combinations, a lot of 1-2s, mainly with the hands. He did land some kicks to the leg, few to the body. Then in round two, Kutuaba opened up the round with massive shots. I thought he was going to drop Bukakis, but it wasn't able to land him the way he needed to. And then Bukakis picked up the pace in round two, but Kutuaba was still consistent in the fight. He was still landing at the same pace and landing the bigger strikes, where Bukakis picked it up late, and he did control the fight, but he still was losing the exchanges. I had Kutuaba winning rounds one, two, and three. No, I don't win in rounds one, two. I gave the third to Bukakis, but again, Kutuaba loses to everybody. We shouldn't. That's just how his career works. I hope they keep him around. I know he's on a bit of a loss streak, but yeah, not much else to say here. Jazz and Dez divisions, won by round one rear naked choke. Really impressively against Jessica Andrade, who I know Andrade isn't the same as she used to be. Still a former champion, a legend of the division. Jazz Divisius got her down right away in round one and mauled her. There really wasn't much else to say. Once she got the arm under the neck, she got the choke. Um, Andrade tapped pretty quickly, and she is a legit contender. I believe that puts her at 5 wins in a row, and I think that she'll be getting a top contender very shortly. Maybe not her next fight, but I can definitely see her fighting to be in the top five by the end of the year if she's active. Really good one for her. Now we move on to her training partner, Mike Malott, who got a performance that he really needed. Mike Malott won this fight by round two TKO, but he was landing a lot of good combinations to start the fight. He looked really good. Radke then started to figure out his patterns. He started to figure out, um, when to counter the hooks and jabs. And he landed the bigger shots in these exchanges. But in round two, Malott dropped Radke with the right, followed it up with the straight, and pounced on him. Got the finish on the ground. Like I said, this is a win that this guy really needed. Um, he's really talented, and coming off of that Neil Magny win, where he or lost, sorry, that he basically gave up in. This was a win that he really needed, and I feel like with a bit of time, Mike Malott can turn into something. As of now, I don't see him being an elite guy just yet. I need to see more from him. But again, this was the performance that he needed. We move on to Benoit Saint Denis, winning by a second round arm triangle against Prep Wick. This fight basically went exactly how I thought it would. I know Prep Wick was coming in off of two first round knockouts, but I really don't. When I work at another promotion, I don't put much weight on first round finishes unless it's against somebody who I know. But Benoit Saint Denis landed an early takedown, ended up backpacking Prep Lake against the fence, did nothing with it for a minute. Then he started to land some damaging strikes, some some hooks off of the back, got him down, was able to throw some big strikes there. Purple X did get up, but BSD was able to get him right back down. And Purple X actually landed nothing. He didn't record a single strike, significant strike, takedown, nothing. Then BSD hammered Purple X in the corner with knees and elbows in round two. Ended up getting a takedown once they broke from the fence, and he got the easiest triangle of all time. I think this was more Purple X giving up from the damage than it being a good submission. Well, it was a good submission, with a tight submission. A good win for Benoit Saint-Denis, a win that he really needs. The UFC needs to take their time with Benoit Saint-Denis. I don't want to see him jump in there with a Justin Gaethje or Dan Hooker. Give him like a Benito Darius. Give him a guy who's around, you know, rank 9 to 7. Let's work our way up with Benoit Saint-Denis. This was a short notice fight. Originally, they were going to have Yoel Alvarez come in, and I was going to pick Yoel Alvarez to win this fight. Um, Maybe, I honestly think we book that fight. I would like it. But if they're going to push Benoit Saint-Denis, make it reasonable. Don't have him fighting Armand Saruki in there. We don't want that. But again, good win by him when he needed. We move on to Natalia Silva winning by unanimous decision. Natalia Silva really impressed me in this fight. So she started off really quickly. Silva looked quicker on the feet, moved in and out really well. Um, she moved in off of the leg kicks. And mixed up the strikes, which was the one thing that Grosser wasn't doing. Grosser went for a takedown, but was denied, and she kept throwing her double jab. Um, you know, um, like going into this fight, I know a lot of people pick Grosser. The guys that I had in my stream. Shout out to you, by the way. I had a blast streaming. I plan to do it for every card. I plan to stream more, but busy with whatever. Back to the fight. Fight. Silva in round two was starting to follow Grossel's double jab, and the moment she picked up on the double jab and landed some counter punches, that's when the fight really opened for Natalia Silva. Grosso did start a scrap late in round two, but Silva was smart. She didn't really engage with it, and she landed a few strikes in that exchange. Um, that did catch Grosso. Silva's boxing then took over in the third round. Again, we hyper Grosso's boxing, like crazy. Natalia Silva's performance was unbelievable. To go in there as a former champion, Grosso then got cut on the forehead, but Natalia Silva basically won the entire fight. Looked really good. Really impressed me, and I believe that is now something like 13 wins for her in a row. Her last loss was to, um, I forgot who it was. They're in the UFC now. Um, Marino Rodriguez. That's it. Marino Rodriguez in 2017, and they weren't even in the UFC at that point. So really good win for her against a former champion. We move on to Vitor Belfort being inducted into the Hall of Fame. I had no idea Vitor Belfort was in the Hall of Fame, but we all know he won the belt off of Couture in 2004, my birth year, lost the rematch, but he's in there with a lot of legends. He was there at the early card, and we all remember him for TRT Belfort knocking out Michael Bisping's eye and just going on a rampage before they banned TRT. he deflated, and then he lost majority of his fights until he was out of the UFC. And I think he might even be competing in GFL. I know that he's had boxing matches and shit. He had the event, a Holyfield boxing match. That was m- murder. But yeah, well deserved legend of the sport. Now we move on to Amin Zahabi, um, and Jose Aldo. This is where I'm going to go on a fucking rant here. Aldo pieced up. I don't know why it says Pierce. Aldo pieced up Zahabi in round one. He was landing the jab, stayed on the outside. Zahabi was, pushing forward, but he wasn't really landing much. Round two, Zahabi. Why? Dude, I literally just went back. We recorded this video and added all these numbers that were missing in letters, and they're not there. Whatever. Round two, Zahabi picked up the pace. When I thought Aldo. Wait, no, I'm tripping. Wow. Streaming for 6 hours really has gotten to me. But I thought Aldo landed the better shots in round two, and I had Aldo up 2 rounds to nothing in the third. Zahabi came out more aggressive in the third. Aldo stunned Zahabi, but Zahabi uh, at the end of the fight, I believe he tripped, got on or Aldo tripped. Zahabi got on him, and he was landing a lot of brutal ground strikes. I gave the third round to Zahabi, but I thought Aldo won the first two. So Aldo retires off of two robbery losses. I'm so glad we brought back a UFC Hall of Famer and had him fight Jonathan Martinez, Mario Batista, and Amin Zahabi. Like, those were fights, man, that if they never happened, like I don't know what I would do. Like if we never got to see the barn burner of Mario Batista versus Jose Aldo, dude, I could never live as a UFC fan. But yeah, um, Canada, right? Every Canadian card, we have a horrible, we have multiple horrible decisions. Honestly, this one pisses me off more because it's Jose Aldo. The Modestus Prokakis one, to me, was the most egregious. Apart from our next fight, Valentina Shevchenko wins by unanimous decision. She lost this fight. I had Farad basically winning majority of this entire fight. I had her up. I think I had her up by 4 rounds, to be honest. Farad started with a heavy kick approach in the first round, which worked beautifully. Shevchenko kept landing the check right, which busted Farad's nose in round one. But again, Farad was landing from the outside really well. I believe she outlanded Shevchenko in each round. You can correct me in the comments if I'm wrong. And then Shevchenko ended the round in half guard, um, off of. No, I wasn't taking. I forgot. Honestly, I forgot how they got to the ground, but she ended up landing a lot of body strikes from half guard, which did look like they hurt. And then round two, Barat was pressing forward, but not throwing. She did better defending the takedowns, but again, I feel like if she would mix up the combinations while she was walking down Shevchenko, she would have had more success than she did. Then Farah got a takedown late in the round, and then she threw an illegal knee to end the round. Really cool. Then round three, Farah found out the reads, and she was able to land on the better strikes on Shevchenko. She even got her down um at the end of the third. Or no, she shot at the end of the third against the cage. Valentina didn't go down now. And then Farad spent most round four against the cage. Um yeah, not much to say there. Shevchenko did drop Farad late in the fourth, which gave her the fourth round. And then in round five, Farad kept holding Shevchenko against the cage. Nothing really happened in the fifth round. But I thought that Manon Farad won this fight. Again, I picked Shevchenko to win, but I Farad won this fight. She was the one pressing forward. She was the one going for takedowns, landing the better strikes. Again, it's just Canadian judging, I guess. But yeah, Valentina Shevchenko. I don't know where you go from here. Yeah, she won the belt back. I believe this is her. Um, what would this be? Is this her first? Yeah, it's her first title defense, right? Valentina. I'm sorry. I yeah yeah. So yeah, this was yeah. This is her first title defense after winning the belt back. Man for all won this fight. I don't know what else to say. When they read this again, I was on my stream. We all thought that Man for all was going to win, which I'm glad she didn't. I'm going to say this: the judges kind of saved us from having Magomed Alive female version. Again, I don't want every single champion to win off of holding people against the cage, but that's where we are heading in the UFC. Um, I don't know. I'll have to go back and watch this fight. To me, Valentina Shevchenko won this by robbery. Then we get into JDM versus Bowl. I cannot believe I'm going to say this. Bilal pieced up JDM on the feet. Bilal was insane tonight. Like, first of all, Bilal air humped the referee before the fight when he was getting the Vaseline, or no Vaseline, the petroleum rubbed on him. And then JDM started off landing some jabs, but Bilal was trading. Bilal was standing in the middle and going shot for shot with JDM and winning. He was outboxing JDM. JDM had a good blitz on Bilal. And then Bilal did shoot a takedown on JDM. And then, in a weird event, Bilal ate a hook like nothing happened in round one. Then Bilal starts faking takedowns to set up the striking. Like I feel like anybody who didn't watch this fight and now watching a review of it, they are going to think that we are on crack. Bilal Muhammad was insane on the field. He shot us, like I said, he was shooting takedowns to set up the 1-2 combinations. He had those Canelo hands. Um, He ate a hook like nothing happened in round one. JDM did start doing better in round two. He was landing bigger shots. Um, but yeah, round three, you move to that round. JDM looked better. He was landing his shots. But Bilal was backing JDM down, and JDM fought like he was fighting back, but he was fighting at Bilal's pace. Then JDM was hitting him with some heavy shots in the fourth. but Bilal was still standing. Like, JDM did look better as the fight went on, but I had Bilal winning damn near every round. Like, to me, like, round one was the only close round that I kind of gave to Jack Della Maddalena. And then Bilal's got cut, but he continued outlanding JDM and got a takedown and ran some strikes. I thought, and like when I was doing this, like I make this card while I'm watching the fights. That's why there's so many spelling mistakes. But it's mainly for me to have a note there to kind of ramble on what I thought about the fight. Bilal Muhammad had one of the best performances we have seen a champion ever have in the UFC. And JDM somehow got the decision 48-47. I don't get it. I wanted JDM to win. I thought that JDM winning this fight would save the UFC. But it did the exact opposite. Bilal Muhammad was a beast on the feet tonight. Bilal Muhammad won that fight clearly. Um, I don't know. We got JDM as a champion now. I, well, like in any scenario, I never thought that I would watch this card and I would be saying, like, I would genuinely be a bit mad that Jack Della Maddalena beat Bilal Muhammad. I don't get it. But when you go back and look at this fight, Bilal Muhammad had one of the best performances we've ever seen a champion. Like, when I was listening to the commentary, it made no sense to me. But I don't know, man. I guess JDM is champion. The, I assume they're going to do a rematch, even though I don't like immediate rematches for people who are, who don't even defend their belt. But I mean, Bilal Muhammad had the fight of his life, and I guess was enough. We'll see. I'm gonna go rewatch this fight at some point, but let me know, what did you think about tonight's fight? Do you think the UFC is ever going to Canada after the ticket sales were horrendous and after the decisions that we got? Like, dude, I, I'm I'm more pissed about the Bukakis fight and Kutalaba not winning that fight than I am again with the Jose Aldo Frost hobby. Again, UFC legend, we're gonna have go out on two robberies. I don't fucking know. Let me know what you think. UFC, I don't expect you to ever come back to Canada. As a UFC fan, never come back to Canada. Never trust a judging up here. I'm done. I'm done thinking about this card, to be honest. I'll make my videos tomorrow.